is Win News.
Tonight, Surf Coast businesses count the cost of bushfires. Investigations into a Daylesford Secondary College blaze. And a police appeal following a fatal Hume Freeway crash. Good evening, welcome to Win News Summer Edition. I'm Alexia Boland. Also tonight, police investigate an act of animal cruelty in East Gippsland. The Surf Coast is expected to lose at least $30 million in tourism revenue following bushfires in the region. Businesses in the area usually rake in 50% of their income during summer, but some have already had to lay off staff.
It may look like the sunny streets of Lawn were packed today, but businesses say while some tourists have arrived, it's still thousands less than previous summers.
A blaze that destroyed part of Daylesford Secondary College is being treated as suspicious. More than $1.5 million damage was caused when the Smith Street campus caught fire early this morning.
Fire crews were called to the Daylesford Secondary College on Smith Street at about 3:30 this morning.
Police are appealing for witnesses following a fatal crash at Boho early on Saturday afternoon. A 64-year-old Warrnambool man was killed and 5 people were injured when a van struck a tree on the Hume Freeway.
Investigators are searching for the occupants of a green Toyota Hilux twin cab ute, who they say may have witnessed Saturday's fatal crash.
Coming up next on Win News, proposed cuts to the Medicare benefits schedule outlined. And jazz musicians from across the country converge on Ballarat. The 70th Annual Australian Jazz Convention is now underway in Ballarat. The regional city has come alive with jazz musicians and fans from across the country with a whole week of performances and events planned. Ballarat was selected as the latest host for the convention following the huge success of regional events in Swan Hill and Goulburn. The Australian Jazz Convention wraps up at the Ballarat Town Centre on New Year's Eve. Albury's Glenda Prezzuti has broken 4 national powerlifting records in Melbourne despite nursing a minor injury. Prezzuti is training hard at her local gym for the 2016 World Championships in a bid to break another world record.
Powerlifting is a sport that requires strength, perseverance and some may say youth.
And sport is next with Wes Cusworth.
Alexia, thank you very much. Coming up tonight, a stellar return from injury by a regional Victorian gelding, and the start of the 4-day cycling carnival prompts a Christmas breakup. Ballarat's Emily Wardy-Thompson has undergone surgery on a broken collarbone and shoulder blade sustained in a crash at yesterday's Christmas cycling carnival in Ballarat. The crash early in the women's wheel race final was one of several in the first event in the 4-part series.
The start of the series also spelt the end for some riders. The legacy of a nasty crash early in the women's wheel race final.
One of Victoria's biggest regional greyhound racing events has been taken out by a Sydney-based dog. Around 2,500 people flocked to the Sale Greyhound Club's annual cup.
The favourite may have been Lithgow Panther in box 2, but all eyes from the get-go were on number 5.
Maryborough product Matthew Dellavedova has been solid in defeat as the Cleveland Cavaliers slumped to their 2nd consecutive loss. The Cavs' offence failed to fire, going down to Portland in the NBA.
Dellavedova attempted to lift his Cavaliers after a lacklustre start.
New Zealand's Katerra Lane has won the $30,000 Jim Phillips Memorial Cobram Pacing Cup. The Rolly Wilson-trained trotter stormed home ahead of top chance Barrimer. Meanwhile, Kean Cullen has capped a return from injury with a win in the $30,000 Lightning Mile in Ballarat.
It wasn't just the base prize money, but with bonus offerings on the line for the Lightning Mile, there was plenty of incentive for the terrain-trained gelding to fire.
And athletes of all ages converged on Benalla over the weekend for the city's annual triathlon. 200 competitors featured in the program, which continues to be a popular event during the festive season.
The anticipation was building as the countdown to the short course event began.
And Alexia, that's all in sport for tonight.
Wonderful, thanks Wes. Weather is up next. Then car lovers get revved up at Warrnambool. welcome back. We experienced mostly sunny skies and warm conditions around the border today. Let's take a closer look at the details. Corryong 26 degrees and fine. Albury-Wodonga 27. Similar conditions for Beechworth, slightly cooler at Bright there. To the satellite, a monsoon trough and a low are generating rain, storms and strong winds in the Northern Territory and Queensland tropics. Looking south, a high pressure system near Tasmania extending across New South Wales and parts of Vic is slowly moving east, causing some isolated showers. On the synoptic, the high over Tasmania is expected to move over the Tasman Sea by early Wednesday, while a weak trough will be slowly travelling from the Bass Strait towards southern Victoria on Thursday. Turning to tomorrow's forecast, the sunshine is sticking around with light winds and relatively warm temperatures expected. We'll see Albury-Wodonga 31 degrees, Beechworth 31 also, Wangaratta slightly warmer there, Yarrawonga 33 degrees and a low of 12 at Corowa reaching 31. In Albury-Wodonga it's warming up again, as mentioned, 31 degrees and remaining nice and fine, an overnight low of 12. In Melbourne, blue skies on the way, more mid-20 temperatures, and in Sydney there's some cloud about but it's remaining fine too. In the days ahead, Wednesday, more sunshine and hot temperatures. We'll see around 34 degrees for Albury-Wodonga, Corryong 35. And then on New Year's Eve, some cloud will be about, but it's going to be even hotter. 36 degrees in Albury-Wodonga, similar conditions in Corryong, 37 for Wangaratta. Then by New Year's Day, it's going to be another scorcher, 36 degrees in Albury-Wodonga. There might be some showers about, but at the moment it's remaining quite fine for Wangaratta and Yarrawonga. Temperatures up around 40 degrees. And finally tonight, crowds have flocked to a show and shine at Warrnambool's Lake Pertobe at the weekend. A custom-made drag car proved to be a favourite with some of the younger car enthusiasts, with children making the most of their chance to get behind the wheel. Yesterday's event, run by Warrnambool Drag Racing Association, also saw a wide range of vintage vehicles on display. And that's how we saw news across regional Victoria and southern New South Wales. Join us again tomorrow night, and you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching Win Television. Have a great night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.